Hey there, my friend. In this video, we're not going to sugarcoat things. We're diving straight into reality, not fantasy, not motivational fluff, but the real cost of getting rich. We actually recommend rewatching this video at least once a month. Why? Because it's easy to forget what the path really demands when life gets noisy. The truth is, if you want to be rich or truly successful, there's a price to pay. And most people aren't willing to pay it. Getting rich isn't for everyone, and that's okay. You're free to live a normal, comfortable, average life if that's what you choose. But let's not pretend that becoming wealthy is all sunshine and cute Instagram quotes. Hopefully, after watching this video, when you see someone who's built real wealth, you'll pause and think about what it cost them to get there. And if you're new here and this is your first video, fair warning, we don't sugarcoat things. If that offends you, feel free to hit close and go watch something softer.
Now, this isn't just opinion. The list we're about to go through is built from actual stories, actual lives, multimillionaires and billionaires from all over the world, different countries, different cultures, but the patterns? Shockingly similar. There's not a single person who made it to the top without giving something up. So here are the 15 real sacrifices you need to make if you're serious about getting rich. Welcome to Eagles Digital, the place where technology meets financial freedom. Number 1, family. All right, let's start with a tough one, family. Yeah, we're going straight in. Now, if you're just starting your journey toward financial freedom or trying to become successful in business, this might hit hard. Most people don't want to hear that chasing success might mean spending less time with their loved ones. But it's one of the most common and consistent sacrifices among the rich. Let me break this down for you. Think about how much time goes into building a business, learning new skills, networking, handling setbacks, researching, managing finances. It's like a second full-time job, sometimes even a third. Successful people often delay starting a family. They wait until they've built a strong foundation before bringing a child into their lives. Why? Because having kids early means your time, money, and mental energy get split hard. And the early years of your wealth journey are already mentally draining. Imagine trying to build a business while juggling diapers, daycare, and doctor visits. It's not impossible, but it's way harder. You need laser-sharp focus in those early years. You need your energy going into your hustle, not chasing after a toddler at 3 a.m. when you've got a pitch deck due in the morning. And it's not just about kids either. Even your current family, parents, siblings, cousins, might not understand the late nights, missed birthdays, or skipped events. They may take it personally, not realizing you're building something for your future family. The truth is, you can't be everywhere at once. You'll have to say no a lot more than you'd like, and that creates tension. But remember, this sacrifice isn't forever. It's just during that grind phase when everything requires your full attention. So if you're just getting started, be prepared. Your personal life will feel the impact. But once you build the life you want, you can give more to the people you love. More time, more comfort, more security. That's what makes the sacrifice worth it. Number 2, health. Let's talk about health, because this one sneaks up on you fast. When you're working 10, 12, sometimes 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, something's got to give. And usually, it's your body. You skip meals, you live on coffee, you tell yourself you'll hit the gym next week. Next week becomes next month, and before you know it, you're out of breath walking up the stairs. It's not that rich people don't care about health. They do. But in the beginning, especially when they're hustling hard, it's one of the first things to get pushed aside. Sleep gets cut. Nutrition is whatever's fast. Stress is sky high. And unless you're super intentional about your routines, it adds up. Entrepreneurial stress is not like normal stress. It's not, oh, I have a deadline. It's, if I don't solve this, I might lose my entire investment. That kind of pressure can wreck your nervous system over time if you're not managing it. And here's the trap. You'll think you're fine because the progress feels amazing. You're closing deals, your income's growing, things are happening.
but your body is quietly waving red flags in the background. That's why a lot of millionaires end up spending money later to fix what they broke early on. The paradox is real. You sacrifice health to get money, and then money to try to fix your health. Now, if you're smart, you'll find little ways to avoid the worst of it. Meal prep once a week. Walk during your calls. Do breathing exercises to manage stress. But know this, even if you do those things, the road will take a toll, and you need to be mentally prepared to push through it, while also being smart enough to course correct before your body breaks. Number 3, friends. This one stings for most people. Friends. You're not going to have the same social life when you're focused on building wealth. You just won't. And if you do try to keep your same group of friends, same hangouts, same distractions, you'll quickly notice how out of place you feel. It's like everyone's chilling while you're grinding. Their priorities are weekend plans. Yours are product launches and sales calls. When I started taking my goals seriously, I slowly realized some of my friends were holding me back, not on purpose, but just by how they lived. They didn't get why I stopped partying. They made fun of me for working on a Saturday. And honestly, it got lonely for a while.
But here's the thing. Your circle has to change if your standards change. You'll find that successful people often have just 1 or 2 close friends. Why? Because they don't have time for small talk and surface-level relationships. They need people who push them, challenge them, and understand what they're building. So if you're just getting started, don't be surprised when your friend group shrinks. Let it. Keep the ones who support you and let go of the ones who don't respect your vision. This is normal. It's growth. Number 4. Hobbies. Hobbies can be great for balance, but when you're building wealth from scratch, they become a luxury, not a priority. If you're broke and playing golf 3 times a week, you're not grinding, you're hiding. It sounds harsh, but it's true. Most hobbies take up time, money, and focus. And in your early stage, every ounce of that needs to go into building your income stream or learning high-value skills.
I had to give up music for almost 2 years when I was launching my first business. Not because I didn't love it, but because I loved success more. I told myself, once I hit X amount per month, I'll pick it back up. And I did. But I wouldn't have gotten there if I hadn't gone all in first. So, if you've got hobbies, cool, but don't let them get in the way of your mission. Work now, play later. Number 5, time. Let's talk about time because this is the big one. If you're serious about getting rich, you have to understand that wealth is just a reflection of how well you've invested your time over the last 5 to 10 years. Not 5 to 10 weeks, not even 1 year. We're talking long term. Most millionaires built their fortunes slowly, one piece at a time. You'll have to trade late nights for learning, early mornings for execution, weekends for opportunity. The average journey to success takes 7 to 10 years. That's just the reality. And most of those years won't look Instagram-worthy. It'll be you at a desk figuring stuff out. You might not see results for months or even years, but that time compounds if you stay consistent. Ask yourself, would you give up 7 years of comfort to live the rest of your life on your own terms? If yes, good. You're already ahead of most. If you want to win at this game, you've got to get better every single day. And that's exactly why I started eaglesdigital.com. It's my blog where I post fresh, simple content about real strategies, tools, and resources that can help you get rich. From mindset tips to ways to make money, everything I share is meant to help you move forward. I focus on what really works, so you don't waste time on stuff that doesn't. If you're serious about growing your money and building success, go check it out. I'm always adding new value there. All right, now let's get back to the list. Number 6, happiness. All right, this one stings a little. Happiness. We all want to be happy, right? But here's the thing. Building wealth often requires you to trade in your happiness, at least temporarily. Even if you love what you do, you're still going to hate parts of it. Nobody wakes up smiling after 4 hours of sleep heading into a 12-hour grind with no end in sight. That's just not how we're wired. So yes, happiness takes a hit. You sacrifice short-term joy for long-term gain. But that's the play. You're not working crazy hours forever, just long enough to buy freedom. Like being able to actually enjoy time with your kid because the bills are already paid. That kind of happiness is different. It hits deeper. And this isn't some motivational checklist. This is a cold look at what actually happens. So yeah, you're gonna have to give up some happiness now, so you can afford a lot more later. Number 7. Sleep. Sleep is one of those sacrifices you can't avoid, but you do have to manage carefully. Most beginners think, I'll just pull all-nighters and grind 24/7, but burnout is real, and it can ruin your progress if you're not smart. That said, in the early phase, you will sleep less. You might have a 9 to 5 and a side hustle. That means working nights, weekends, or early mornings. That means shaving off an hour or two of sleep so you can study, build, or strategize. The key is being intentional. Don't waste your sleep time watching YouTube or gaming. Use those extra hours to build something that sets you free. You don't have to live on 4 hours a night forever. Just know that at the start, your bed isn't where wealth is built. It's built during the hours everyone else is wasting. Number 8, who you are. Here's a deep one. You've got to sacrifice who you are right now in order to become the person who deserves success. That might sound dramatic, but stay with me. The current version of you has limitations, habits, beliefs, fears that are keeping you stuck. If you already had the mindset of a millionaire, you'd probably already be one. So the question becomes, what part of you needs to change? Is it laziness, lack of confidence, poor time management? Maybe you have a bad circle of influence. Think of yourself like an app. You don't delete the whole thing, you just release an update, fix the bugs, patch the flaws, upgrade your mindset. This is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the real version of yourself that's been buried under years of doubt, excuses, and distractions. The version that's ready to win. Number 9, entertainment. Entertainment is fun, but let's be real, most of it is a trap. Netflix, TikTok, video games, endless scrolling. It eats up your time without giving you anything in return. If you're still in the getting started phase, you don't have time to watch 3 episodes of anything. That time should be used to learn new skills, study money, build a side hustle, or plan content. I used to relax by binging YouTube every night. I told myself I was tired and deserved it. But guess what? 6 months went by and I was still broke. When I cut entertainment cold and used that time to build, everything changed. Not forever, just long enough to break free. Once you have passive income and time freedom, then go binge whatever you want. But for now, you've got work to do. Number 10, stability. Stability feels safe, but growth lives in chaos. When you're building something from scratch, there's nothing stable about it. Your income is unpredictable. Your schedule is crazy. Some months you'll win big. Others, you might lose everything. Most people can't handle that level of uncertainty. That's why they settle for a stable paycheck, even if it's way below their potential. But here's the secret. When you learn to thrive in instability, you become unstoppable. You move cities, switch jobs, try new strategies, pivot fast, because you're focused on building something bigger than comfort. If your environment is holding you back, change it. Move out. Move on. Take the risk. Build the life you actually want instead of staying stuck in the one that keeps you small. Number 11, income. This one always surprises beginners. Income. When you're trying to get rich, you'd think holding on to every dollar you make is the smart move, right? But in the early stages, you actually need to give up a chunk of your income and put it right back into your business, your education, or your tools. Most people get their first decent check and they're already thinking about upgrading their car, buying designer clothes, or celebrating with a weekend getaway. That mindset, it's why most folks never level up. Real builders treat income like fuel. They don't spend it, they deploy it. That could mean reinvesting in better tools, ads, courses, or even outsourcing tasks so they can focus on higher value work. When I started earning my first online income, I didn't buy a single new thing for 6 months. I spent it all on software, coaching, and building my website. The short-term pain of living lean was tough, but it paid off. I created something that now brings in cash even when I sleep. So here's the mindset shift. Don't look at income as something to spend. Look at it as a weapon to scale. If you can delay the flex, the freedom later is 10 times sweeter. Number 12, comfort. Let's talk about comfort, because it might be the biggest hidden enemy on your path to wealth. Comfort is sneaky. It convinces you to stay in bed instead of getting up early to work. It whispers, "You've done enough for today," when you've barely scratched the surface. It's that voice that says, "You deserve this small treat," even though you haven't hit your goals yet. The problem, comfort creates a loop. The more you indulge in it, the harder it is to break free. And real success doesn't happen inside that loop. It lives outside of it, in the uncomfortable, awkward, uncertain grind. Rich people, they often talk about the ramen years, a period where they lived cheap, skipped luxury, cut expenses, and just focused on building. They didn't care about looking successful. They cared about becoming successful.
I used to live in a small, shared apartment with 3 roommates.
I wore the same clothes, worked from a wobbly table, and ate tuna and rice almost every day. But every dollar I saved from living uncomfortably went into my business, and every sacrifice added up. So no, you don't need the newest iPhone. You don't need the upgraded car or $5 coffee every morning. What you do need is to get uncomfortable long enough to build something permanent. Number 13, the need to be liked. Now, this one's deep. The need to be liked. A lot of people stay broke because they're addicted to approval. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to be seen as different. But if you want to be rich, you have to stop caring what everyone thinks, because most of the people around you don't get it. You'll hear things like, "Why are you working so much? You've changed. You think you're better than us now?" That stuff hurts, especially when it comes from people close to you, but it's part of the process.
You have to decide, do you want their validation or do you want results?
Rich people are often labeled as cold, driven, or obsessed, and maybe that's true, but they're focused. They're playing a game most people don't even see. And yes, it's lonely at first, but eventually people will respect you. They'll see the work. They'll see the results. And the same people who doubted you will ask how you did it. So stop trying to please everyone. You weren't born to blend in. You were built to stand out. Number 14, pride. Pride is another silent killer of potential. Let me ask you, would you be willing to take a job that feels beneath you if it helped fund your dream? Because most people won't. Their ego gets in the way. They're too proud to start at the bottom, too afraid of being judged. But the truth? Pride doesn't pay the bills. Hustle does.
If you need to stock shelves, drive Uber, or clean offices while you're building your side hustle, do it. If you need to intern for free just to get a foot in the door, do it. No one's going to hand you a shortcut. Jeff Bezos delivered newspapers. Damon John worked at Red Lobster. Oprah started at a small local news station and was told she'd never make it on TV. What do they have in common? They swallowed their pride to get started. In the early days, you'll do things that feel embarrassing. But you're not doing them forever. You're doing them so you never have to do them again. Number 15, immediate desires. We're almost there, and this one might be the most dangerous. Immediate desires. We live in a world where you can get almost anything instantly. Food, likes, entertainment, you name it. And that trains your brain to expect everything quickly, including success. But wealth is built slowly. It requires patience. It requires saying no to small rewards today so you can earn massive rewards later. If you spend every bonus on new shoes or every weekend binging Netflix, you're trading your future for comfort now. The people who make it big are the ones who can say, "I'll pass on the vacation this year so I can reinvest in my business. I'll skip the bar tonight so I can get up early and work on my skills. I'll wait on the luxury lifestyle until I've built systems that pay me while I sleep." Every time you delay a short-term desire, you build long-term muscle. And eventually, you become the kind of person who doesn't just dream of freedom, you own it. All right, Eagles, these are the real rules of the wealth game. We know you were probably hoping for an easier path, but if you made it to the end of this video, you already know there are no shortcuts. Only discipline, focus, sacrifice, and if you're serious about this life, you'll rewatch this video regularly. Reflect on it, adjust. And hey, if you got value from this, do us a favor. Share it with someone on the same journey as you, someone who's building, someone who gets it. And let's find out who the real ones are. Drop "I want it all" in the comments so we know who made it through to the end. Thanks for spending time with us, my friend. Until next time,
Take care and keep building.